Hello, this is Tim Hellman,
And I'm Jameson Pfeifle.
and this is Movie Talk. Today we're going to review our top 10 movies of 2020. My number 10 is Bad Boys for Life. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah. It was a nice, fun return to form after waiting, nearly a decade for another sequel.
Yeah, I liked it better than Bad Boys 2 for sure. I loved Martin Lawrence in it. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good to see him back in a fun role again.
I
He
know.
hasn't really been doing much lately.
No, he doesn't do anything anymore, so it was good to see him.
My number 10 is Wendy. And it was a fun reimagining of the Peter Pan story.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed because I loved Beast of the Southern Wild, and it didn't live up to that for me. But
Fair enough, yeah. I mean, but Beast of the Southern Wild was so good. That's a tall order
oh
to
yeah,
meet.
I know.
But production design just looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah. My number 9 was Tenet.
I was lucky that I was able to see it on a big screen. I was at a drive-in theater actually when it came out.
Yeah,
It's it was a fun movie. I would say it's probably in kind of the lower tier of Christopher Nolan stuff, but
yeah.
even low tier Christopher Nolan is
I,
still good
I know.
filmmaking.
He's such a good director.
My number 9 is Palm Springs. I've always been a fan of Andy Samberg, and
Yeah.
Kristen Milioti is someone who I've really been keeping my eye on, and it's nice to see her picking up more work. It falls into the same storyline of Groundhog Day, where you're
Mhm.
reliving the same day each day, but
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It didn't make my top 20, but I definitely really liked it. My number 8 was The Platform.
I unfortunately didn't see that. No.
Okay. It's a great social commentary on society. Really dark.
My number 8 is The Way Back. I've been a Ben Affleck apologist for years. I've loved the guy and everything he's done. I mean, going back to even his little kind of slump in the 2000s where he was doing like Paycheck and Surviving Christmas. He's a solid guy, and I was happy to see him, come back with directing Gone Girl, all those movies. And I'm disappointed that he'll be stepping away from the role of Batman because I really had high hopes for his movie.
I know. I don't know why I decided to do that. So number 7, I have The King of Staten Island.
It was a good year for Pete Davidson. Both of the movies he was in, this and Big Time Adolescence, I
Yeah,
really enjoyed both of them.
I did too.
It's showing that he actually has, potential to pull off some really good dramatic roles, and I'm excited for him in the upcoming Suicide Squad sequel.
Oh yeah, that's interesting casting.
My number 7 is Feels Good Man. One of those things where it's so weird how meme culture has just been digging into our society and how it's a really terrifying cautionary tale to like an artist who lost complete control of his creation and how it morphed into something that he never wanted it to be.
I hadn't seen it, but it sounds interesting. My number 6 is Wonder Woman 1984.
It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It
Uh,
was a nice little rehash of like 80s kitsch, which it's fun.
I thought it was kind of nostalgic, like a Superman movie.
Pedro Pascal has been proven himself to be an awesome actor, so
I
it was
know
nice to see him just chewing scenery left and right.
he was a great villain, and so was Kristen Wiig as Catwoman, basically.
My number 6 was Sound of Metal. It's nice to see Riz Ahmed really kicking up work. Again, he's another one of those actors that has slowly but surely been picking up good acting roles, and this was fantastic.
As far as acting goes, it was amazing. My number 5 is The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Aaron Sorkin, he's fantastic.
Oh yeah, The Social Network is one of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah.
All of his TV work is fantastic. I'm a big fan of The Newsroom, so he's one of those guys who he writes dialogue that a writer can love. It's heightened dialogue, but it's something that you can just love hearing someone say.
Yeah. I don't know if it's completely realistic, but it's just great
Yeah,
theater.
my number 5 was The Assistant. You feel uncomfortable as the as the descent of the day goes on for this character, because you can see everyone around her is immune to what is obviously just a bad, toxic, horrible boss. But
Yeah.
the fact that pretty much by the end of the day, she's become immune to it. It's just a really hard hitting look at kind of the last few years of what's been going on in Hollywood with all these big takedowns on some very powerful people.
My number 4 is Love and Monsters.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that one.
Oh man, it's so good. It's great special effects and it's got emotion in it. And I love monster movies, and this one's just done really well. And I highly, highly recommend it.
My number 4 was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I'm glad that Denzel Washington has pretty much made it his mission to get all of August Wilson's plays adapted for a larger audience. This and Fences, and he is such a great writer, and it's good to see him getting more recognition now. That was just that little hit to the heart seeing Chadwick Boseman do his final role.
Yeah.
I really hope he got to see a cut of it before he passed away.
They're saying he's going to win the Oscar for Best Actor for that.
I could see it happening.
My number 3 is The Way Back. Ben Affleck giving one of the best performances of his career, I thought.
And also you could see the catharsis for Affleck. The fact that he has openly struggled with a lot of what this character has. You could tell he put a lot of himself into it, which he's wearing his heart on his sleeve in this role, and it's really good. My number 3 is The Trial of the Chicago 7. Everybody in that movie did a fantastic job. It was a very important storyline and needed to be told in this day and age.
My number 2 is The Hunt. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
What did you think of it?
This was a solid movie. The one thing that really frustrated me was I was actually working on a treatment for a script with a similar tone, and when I saw a trailer, I basically had to toss 50 pages in the bin.
I thought it was funny, and it was a great action movie too.
My number 2 is Tread. It's been a great year for documentaries, I will say that.
It was really
This
dark.
is one of those stories that, as someone from the Midwest, you heard about this guy who built this bulldozer and destroyed a town in Colorado, and it was interesting kind of hearing the stories of the locals and hearing audio recordings that he had left behind and kind of trying to piece together why and how, and it's interesting to see kind of someone's descent.
Yeah. It was a little too dark for me, but I found it interesting, definitely. So my number 1 is PDX Aces. It's totally biased because that's my movie, but I put my own film on my list last year, so I felt I had to do the same this year. And Kevin Smith does it. He put Clerks 2 at number 2 on his list the year that came out. And so I think it's fair.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see it yet.
Okay. It's a documentary on asexuals in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So what was your number 1?
I watched it last night, and it really hit me hard. The Dissident.
Okay. I hadn't even heard of it.
It's a documentary all about Jamal Khashoggi and kind of everything that went on that transpired before, during, and after his death. It's engaging. It'll make you angry. It'll make you paranoid. If you're not paranoid and angry after this documentary, you might not know what's going on.
Yeah. All right. That's our top 10s. Thanks for doing this with me.